Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the WardiTV Monday. WardiTV Monday number 78. I'm of course just VIP with you, and joined by these amazing players, and of course by the people in the chat as well. Welcome one and all. Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. Welcome one and all to another week of WardiTV Monday action. Here we go. Once again, as a reminder, of course, this is a replay cast, as the main event does begin in a couple of hours' time. But we're here to jump in a little bit earlier, a little bit faster with said replay coverage. We're going to be jumping into the quarterfinals, followed by the semis and the grand finals thereafter. And I feel like we're a little bit rushing at the moment when it comes to trying to get through some of these older broadcasts, because TLMC is about to wrap up. We have the new maps on the horizon, and I can't wait to sink my teeth into those new maps and to bid these ones adieu. Not to say that they're bad or anything like that, but you know what? It's been a full season, and I'm hoping, I can't remember what the polling was actually, whether we get a full set of 9 new maps. I hope so. I hope so, baby. I hope so. But regardless, here we go. But now we're going to be jumping into our first series. It's going to be best of three matchup here between ByuN and Solar. Let's go. Let us go. But again, as a reminder, this is going to be a very intense week of StarCraft ahead of us. An intense week when it comes to our regular broadcasting. Of course, we have the GSL CK tomorrow. True. GSL CK is going to be tomorrow evening. I have to get ready for that one. It's it's going to be an intense night of StarCraft. But here we go. This morning in the top right corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. It is Solar. Oh god, they're always banting. Un momento, papi, un momento. Ay. Alright, where we at? Hold on. Can Google Translate save us? Un momento. I don't understand the context. Oh no. I think Solar's like, you wanted this, and then ByuN's like, get this over with. Like, I don't understand the context, papi. I don't understand. Oh no. But here we go. It is going to be 2x Reaper here out of ByuN. No SCV Scout out of our Terran player. Meanwhile, we'll see how Solar does react, and we'll see how hard ByuN does commit, as the Overlord is on the way. Oh my god. Give us the next photo. I know that Solar, he brought up Shin for some reason. A fun fact, Shin brought up Solar last night. True. What are they saying right now? Oh my god, I'm not going to translate that. I now have context as to what's going on. Anyway, right now they're just talking about the build itself. Baby Solar just scattered. He just scattered 2x Reaper. Is where ByuN will be moving out across the map. It is going to be 2x Reaper into a CC on the low ground. So an additionally aggressive build here. Not an all-in, and I believe the Overlord did confirm the CC. So Solar knows there is no third Rax behind this. Behind this though, it is going to be ByuN hoping to try and delay the expansion. The hope here is to delay, and the hope is to contain Solar. Behind the Solar can stay in gas. We can see that the Solar, he pulled out, so Link Speed is on the way, pulls out of gas, not going for a main bust, not going for a roach rush. He is just looking to defend and build up into the mid game. Meanwhile, Solar does get the third. Ooh, he did hide the drone. Third base does get up and running, and ByuN has denied this. Behind it's going for a third CC. Okay. Hypergreed out of ByuN. Reapers, they confirm the third base, and ByuN can't do anything about it. Yeah, he cannot stop the third. So far, this opener hasn't really been worth it for ByuN. He does poke in, almost gets a drone, going to be zoned away, and again, behind this, ByuN is going for a very fast start command center before the factory. This will delay any kind of follow-up. Is going to be a 3cc 2-on-1 variation as the follow-up, but a little bit more delayed here, and yeah, we'll see if Solar can punish ByuN. As Link Speed is going to kick in 10 seconds. ByuN has to be careful. He's going to be careful with these Reapers. Does pull away. I would say in the end, ByuN, he failed to get the damage he was hoping for. As we mentioned before, the goal is to at least deny the third base and to contain the Zerg player on 2 bases. He failed to do so. Back at home, he is being hyper greedy, and we'll see how Solar does react from here. I'm assuming that's that he's talking about the 2-1-1. Again, it's going to be a 3-6-2-2-1-1. I'm assuming they're referring to the build here based on the numbers being used, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think Solar, he asked him if it's going to be like a regular 2-1-1 or an economic version, and then ByuN said it's going to be an all-in. I think that's when Solar did. He went for the for the crying face emoji. I mean, technically this could be like a 4x follow-up behind this, but Hellions just got scouted, so Solar, he's least aware of the factory follow-up. As ByuN does poke in, pulls away. Behind the Solar droning, saturating up on 3 bases. Get to take his gases just now. Gases are going to be on the way. And as it all settles here, ByuN's big power spike is going to be with 1-1 and with his third base. Right? Remember, it's a fast third CC, which means fast 2-base saturation, fast 3-base saturation. So the mid game here is where ByuN really does hit his stride, but he has to get there first. Likewise, Solar. Still droning. Still droning, still saturating. It was just the one Hellion, right? Yep, only one Hellion. Factory just being used to make add-ons. Building up into his tank push. And the game is slowing down. And we are slowing down from here. Now that we have our medevacs, ByuN can be active. Stim is done. He's pushing across the map. And I believe with the heavy queen count, we should be okay. It's going to be 8 queens. We have a handful of links to defend, 6 more links in production. ByuN does have a lot of potential with this army, but Solar should have the tools to defend here. Oh, that is range. Wait, what? Okay, interesting. We have seen Solar be a little bit more fond of this style here, as 1 queen does get picked off. Nice pick off. Gets a queen. Let's get a queen. More links are amassing. We mentioned this last night when we were casting Shin's matches, but this heavy Hydra style has been very prevalent as of late from players like Solar, like Shin, like Rogue. A lot of the Korean Zerg players have been embracing this. Oh, as queen almost goes down. And then counterattack is denied. Mirror's going to be zoned away. Hydra amassing. Remember, this is Hydra's B4 Banelings. So Baneling speed is heavily delayed this game in favor of just a heavy Hydra count. And so far, ByuN, his aggression hasn't really achieved too much here. Second factory tells us that ByuN, he will not be A-Raxing. He'll be expanding behind this, taking extra gases and going for another command center. There we go, gases are on the way. And we should soon be seeing that 4th CC. So we're still building up. It's been relatively tame so far. ByuN moving out with another double drop. Solar's queens are a little bit exposed. He's got to be careful. Does he react quickly enough? Does he react? Yeah, there's a sim. Queens, they pull away. Oh no! Oh, the queen's getting caught out. Losing 1, losing 2 queens. Ay, ay, ay. That's a lot of creep falling. Nice catch there by ByuN. Behind this, there's that 4th command center. 2-2 is on the way by our tank. And it's all about ByuN setting up for the push. And here it comes. This time he's got his tanks. Just the 1 tank for now. Double drop here is keeping Solar distracted. Army gets spotted. Solar trying to react. Does pounce on the base, but the Hydras are exposed. Yeah, where's the Ling Bane? He wears the Ling Bane to support the Hydras. ByuN, he does give chase. Catching 1, 2, 3 Hydras. Bailey's now going to be waddling in. Bailey's speed just not finishing. Oh no, can he connect? Ah, not quite. Yeah, the tank is within range. Solo now collapsing in. Not trying to at least. Oof. Oh god, god. Okay, we got one connection. One Bailey connects. Solo, he's barely holding on. He's maintaining his 4 bases. He's holding. But it does feel like ByuN has too much momentum here. Here comes the second wave, the second push. Again, there's no crease right here, pushing towards the center. Or towards the flank. There's a cancel. Tanks are moving in. The base itself is very low. ByuN has to be careful. Double drop was cleaned up. Ooh, bit of miscontrol there by ByuN. Inattentive. Yeah, the drop is cleaned up. Tanks are pushing in. Now, at least a creep may allow for Solo to flank. Just a little bit paranoid. Yeah, we get the double drop into the main base. Solo's out of position, and this will trade well. Cleans up the links. Takes out the Spore. Getting a little bit out of hand, but now should be cleaned up. Ooh, as ByuN once again inattentive here, does leave the drop idle. We spoke about it earlier when it came to the northern double drop. But that's 4 medevacs going down. ByuN, we gotta look in. We gotta look in, Bappy. Yeah, Solo's overwhelming. Just overwhelming the army here. He's got his mass Hydra, started stepping forward. Getting on top of the tanks. And Solo, he retains the Hydra count, now building up into what? Into lurkers. Yeah, lurker den is on the way. He's got plenty of lurkers available, plenty of Hydras available to morph in. Here comes another double drop. It doesn't bode well. It does not bode well. We've lost a lot of these double drops. Yeah, Solo's ready. Worse in the pickup. The first wave of lurkers are on the way. Bearing in mind that at least for now, these are layer tech lurkers. They need a little bit more time for their upgrades. Both armies are maxed, but one army is not quite like the other. ByuN is stuck in purely ByuN, right? ByuN is an army composition. He's not ready for lurker tech. Link Bane collapsing in. So far though, ByuN trades well. Yeah, ByuN trades well. No lurkers in position. Where are the lurkers, Bappy? Yeah, the base is gonna go down. Lurkers now have arrived. There's only 2? 5. Okay, 5 lurkers. First one is revealed. Oof. Losing another queen. Jesus. Okay. Another queen goes down, and again, the lurker count just isn't there yet. We have 7 lurkers on the way. Blasts are exposed. Okay. Lurkers, they hold their own. A code drop towards the southern side. Solo is being pulled apart. He just wants to take the main fight. Yeah, a little bit late to react. Oof. One medevac goes down. Lands a power bomb. Ooh, gets a second medevac. Ay. Lurker's trying to reposition. This time the upgrades are done. Yeah, the upgrades are finished. The army's going to get pounced upon. Massive catch. No. Yeah, ByuN gets caught. He gets caught out. He has to get the hell out of here. At the same time, double drop is still barely alive. Does find some damage, and Solo, he commits. He just commits across the map. He doesn't even care. He'll lose the expansion. Ooh, Solo about to get surrounded though. Yeah, Solo trying to maintain this position, but we come in from behind. We get a full surround, and Solo, he will lose every single lurker. He's down to two lunkers. Down to 0. And Solo can't afford that. He cannot afford these losses. He just lost an expansion, lost 11 drones. That was about 7 lurkers going down to 5. And again, I don't blame Solo for pushing across the map, but alas, he just did not have enough. He was so desperate to break out. And ByuN is overwhelming. Just overwhelming the army. At this point, he can just rally across the map. He's so close to breaking the back here of Solar. Rotates over. Getting a queen. Catching a queen. Again, my big concern here was that we were going to be seeing a big power spike for Solar coming in with lurkers pre-Ghost, right? Pre-Ghost Academy. But in the end, we got the full surround. Like, we didn't need the snipes. We didn't need the snipes. Didn't need the ghosts. ByuN held his own. Once again, collapsing here on 2 lurkers. Getting the expansion, the drones, the economy. No. Solo does defend on the northern side though. Fusion core is on the way. We see ByuN switching liberators. That should be an alternate solution here to the lurker. He's forced back home. Solo fighting back. Oh no! Ooh, massive lurker shots. Oh god! Going up the choke points. Solo takes a better fight. Does that position. That position takes down the expansion. CC goes down. ByuN is in trouble. Really messy. We're getting messy here. Catching out a liberator. Gets one. Trades bleeding out one of his lurkers. 2 lurkers going down. Oof. Getting another towards the end. The lurkers are pushing him towards the natural. He's getting himself the production. He's close. We have how many? Oh my god. 16 lurkers. Okay. It's not pretty, it's not clean, but Solo, he's brute forcing it. He's just brute forcing his way through. He's got 16 lurkers in between the bases. Again, a very intense game, very back and forth. Solo, he was hurting. He was almost down and out. But he got up to 16 lurkers. He has his Vipers as well. Oh. Still barely alive. And this is where we spoke earlier about, I was concerned that ByuN would be outscaled. He has been, right? Like ByuN, without any ghosts, he has no easy way to deal with these lurkers. As he tries to stim in. Planetary goes down, massive pickup. Yeah, no. The lunkers, pappy, they're everywhere. GG gets called, and Solar, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A very, very intense game 1 here. Again, very back and forth. ByuN is doing well for himself. Again, if you recall, my big concern was that once Solo got into Hive Tech, that he would just snowball out of control and get out of hand and just break through ByuN. But no, ByuN, he was able to go for his drop play, take down bases, punish the economy. And again, that was that big moment where he was able to surround the lurkers, reset the lurker count, and gain a lead. But he wasn't quite able to do enough from there. Did kill another expansion, that is true, but he wasn't able to stop Solo from rebuilding those lurkers, building them up, and hitting critical mass. Critical mass of 16 lurkers and his Vipers, and he just went for one big all-in, one big push right through the center. GG. GG, well played. I mean, that's Ruby Rock. True. That is Ruby Rock. And that will take us here into game number 2. And we'll see if ByuN can fight back and have this back and forth and go to the ace match, or if Solo can clean it out here and now. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, sorry, bottom side of Mothership, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. Representing Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Teal Zerg. It is Solar. Let's go. I see Rake in the chat. ByuN is my biggest rival at the moment. I'll find a way to cheese him with carriers once again. Oh no. Oh no. Este Rake. SMH my hedge. I mean, hey, we did give Rake a lot of praise that first series 2 weeks ago. Did have a really strong showing versus ByuN. A little bit less so last night. But regardless. Best of luck. Really cool to see you competing in SE2, by the way. Like, when I think of Rake, I think of StarCraft Evolution. Right? I think of SE Evo. As Rake is a more predominant player in StarCraft Evolution tournaments. But regardless, good to see you. Good to see you. Este Rake. The Lunkers, Pappy C, the Lunkers. As once again, we're going to be opening up 2-Rax Reaper. Now, as a reminder, this opener was lackluster last game. If you recall, the purpose of 2-Rax Reaper is to ideally force a cancel or delay the third base and contain the Zerg player until expansions, but Solar did successfully hide his drone, got his third up and running, and was able to build up into 3 bases without too much issue, so the initial opener from ByuN wasn't quite worth it. It did force out a bunch of Lings at least, and did force earlier Ling speed. There were some inefficiencies that he forced out of Solar, but not enough, not as much as he was hoping for. Not as much. As Reapers are amassing. Bearing in mind we are spawning to Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map. Solar confirms that ByuN is not at topside. And ByuN will scout Solar immediately. We'll move in, we'll scout. Let's into the natural. No mage damage yet, so we're just buying time for the queen. Queen does pop. As we mentioned before, the goal for ByuN is to force a cancel. And with the arrival of the third Reaper, he may be able to. I believe it's only 3 though. Yeah, only 3 Reapers. And can he force that cancellation? It looks like he will. Yeah, it looks like he will. As Solar cannot save this. There's a cancellation. As Solar, he does not stay in gas. He's not going for a Bane Bust. He's not going for a Roach Rush. He's not going for the all-in. Reapers, they break into the natural. Gets 1, gets 2. Okay. 2 drone kills and the cancel. Not a bad start. A better start this time for ByuN. True. Better start here in game 2. Behind this, we have ByuN going for a straight up, once again, 3rd CC. Yeah, earlier 3rd CC. It was 2-on-1. This time a faster factory. Remember, last game it was a command center before the factory. This time it was after the factory. So we have a faster setup here. Stim is on the way. Oh, going for the add-on swap. Okay. It's going to be 3cc 2-on-1 with Banshees, not with Metamax. That's why we have the earlier factory. Okay. Earlier factory, earlier starport, earlier Banshee play. Now, the way this works here, this has been very fun and very prevalent from players like Maru, from players like ByuN, from the Korean Terran players. It's a very fun build to mix in. Basically, meta-wise, due to what Solar's seen, it should be a medevac, right? So we have 2 Raxes. The goal should be early stim into early medevac production into the early push across the map. It is technically inefficient to go into Banshee play, but that is why Cloak Banshees can catch players off guard here in this position. There's a very low chance that spores are ready in time. Now, ByuN isn't committing too hard. I would assume that we would go into Cloak, but no Cloak, right? There is no Cloak. So the lack of spores here could have killed Solar, by the way. These Banshees could show up with Cloak. They hit the natural base and they can just deal critical damage. But here, Solar, he isn't getting spores. At the same time, there is no Cloak, so it is not as necessary. Again, this is a cheeky build. It could have been cheekier. It could have been detrimental. Banshees moving out across the map. Again, there are no spores. I mean, there doesn't need to be. But it was a very light commitment here from ByuN, so they shouldn't get much done. There was potential, though. There was potential. It would have been free damage. As Banshee does poke in. Spores are now being thrown down reactively. Spore at the third. He's responding here. Sorry, Spore at the natural, I meant to say. Queens respond at the third. Meanwhile, here comes the main push. Stim is done. And we do have Stim. Banshee will be chipping away at the fourth expansion. ByuN Stim's in. He wants that Alien Nest. Ooh, shouldn't get it though. Yeah, should not get it. Solar, he's here to, sorry, ByuN is here to force a cancel. And he will not be able to. It is close. Okay. It is close. Second queen has arrived. The hatchery does get very low. And even if it finishes, it will have very little HP. ByuN can snipe. He's coming. ByuN sims in. Gets into the expansion. Queen goes down. But won't get the hatchery. Yeah, won't get the expansion here. Forced to pick up. So let us hold. Oh, meanwhile, sorry, I was a little bit distracted and focusing on ByuN. But Solar going into Muta play. Okay, Spire is done at the natural, going to Ling Wei Muta, a very stark kind of composition compared to last game where he rushed into Hydras, into +1 range, into Lurker play. But fast Mutas, and so far, I believe, yeah, ByuN unscouted. ByuN, he does not see, does not scout his opponents. ByuN has no idea what's going on. No. This would have also been the upside of going into Cloak Banshee, is being able to freely dip in between the bases to scout and do damage. Oh, he sees. Yeah, it does catch one, two. 2 meters going down. But the mineral lines are exposed. And do we base trade? Meters hit the third base at the same time. ByuN is pushing in. He's coming. Does ByuN have enough though? There we go, dropping into the natural. Queens, they respond. There just is not enough bio here. The tank's going to go down. Nice tank shots here on the Banelings. But they roll it in. They force a pickup. Yeah, ByuN, he will lose at 9 SCVs across the map. At the same time, he does kill the fourth base. Not a bad pickup. But he lost all of his tanks. Lost the tanks, lost the bio. ByuN does not have enough. Yeah, he's going to lose everything. Oof. And we'll lose everything here. The drops are being cleaned up. That's the power of the Muta. So he will lose 9 drones, and this is some nice damage here, but as I mentioned before, everything will go down. At least it should. Oof. Nice focus Ryan, getting 1, 2, 3 Mutalisks. Expensive trades here for Solar. That's a bit of Icarus Quartz. It's pure marine tank here from ByuN. Was he 8-raxing? Wait, what? Oh, he was. My apologies. Again, we were fixated on Solar here, but we have 9 raxes for ByuN. He's 3-base all in. ByuN, he has no gases this time, no second factory, no 4 CC. ByuN, he's meant to end the game with this, and if he fails to, I mean that's it. He has to win the game. He's all in. He's 9 racks all in. Now, these all-ins typically do well against Muta play. Mutas, they are not ideal defensively, but they're great when it comes to picking up reinforcements, catching tanks. Solo coming in from behind. There we go, does focus down one, the other tank as well. ByuN army attempts to split, splitting. Oh, does split away. Okay, not bad. Solo still has enough. They're collapsing in the army. Oh no, the medevacs! Catching out full medevacs as well. 1, 2 full medevacs go down. And again, heavy losses here for ByuN. ByuN, he will kill the 4th base once again. But Solo took the center base. He has another expansion. He has more bases back. Nice catch. Catching out 2 Mutalisks. Behind this Solo, he's running up to 80. Building on Whirling Bane. The Hive is nowhere near completion, but he doesn't need it. As ByuN is at least starting mining at the 4th. True. So that's another 4th expansion that's going to be going down. I say that's getting low. ByuN dropping into the natural. And this is doing a great job when it comes to dealing with the economy of Solar and keeping it low, but it's still better than that of ByuN's. I say that ByuN is finally expanding. It's a very late 4th base. It was never meant to be here, but is now getting a 4th. ByuN had no intention of getting a 4th base. Hey, ByuN is transitioning. Catching up more ByuN. I'm hoping that soon ByuN can switch into Widowmine play. Usually Bio tank is ideal when it comes to the ARAX we were going for earlier, but at this point the game is slowing down. I don't need that much more anti-air or splash damage. So yeah, ByuN wins for sure. Muta's not great. If you missed the early to mid game, as we were trying to emphasize, ByuN was all in. ByuN was 9-raxing, so ByuN, he had no longevity here in this game. That's why his upgrades are delayed, his 4th base is delayed, the economy is delayed, and as you saw, ByuN, he was bleeding out a lot of units. So ByuN doesn't really have the best setup getting into a longer game state. Meanwhile, Solar, here comes the Hive tech, and typically alongside Hive comes Ultras. That's usually the direction that we're heading in. Is going to be Ultra tech. ByuN is not ready for Ultras at the moment. We'll see if we can tech him when it goes. Picking up the turret. So I'll just keeping tabs on ByuN. Getting free tanks. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 tanks going down. Nice catch out of Solar. Here comes that Widowmine production. As we mentioned before, like, tanks are not ideal against Lingbane Muta. You do need to switch in those mines. So the mines are coming. No drilling claws. And it's a rough decision to be active like this, but ByuN, he has to do something with this army. Like, it's such a cheap army. It's just pure marine. ByuN is maxed. Let's go. And we spoke about it, Ultras. As we mentioned before, like, Ultras, that's going to be the nail in the coffin. ByuN has to try to end the game before Ultra Tech. We have to end it. Oh my god, but there's just so much Lingbane Muta. And Soul just has to buy time. It's all about buying time. Nice splits. Nice spread here by ByuN. He's spreading well. trying to force a worse fight. Solo being careful. Just slowly chipping away at the army. Slowly chipping away. The expansion is taking some hits. And again, ByuN's done a great job when it comes to denying the 4th and 5th base so far this game, but still working on it. There we go. Gets another expansion. Oh, wouldn't mind, they've now joined the fray. They've joined the main fight. Ultras are coming. We spoke about it earlier. It's all about killing before Ultra Tech. And the Ultras are coming. Oh my god. Little Bane is going down. Now we're just committing. Oh. As the Wouldn't Mind does not connect. Dragging the shots. Solar pushing off a creep. Yeah, a bit of an overextension. Cheeky moves out of Solar. Very cheeky. Este Solar. But there it is. The Ultras, they're coming. 4 Ultras on the way. Kind of splitting's almost done. Here they come. And there's one Marauder. Now, bearing in mind this Ultra is lacking upgrades. Yeah, we're lacking upgrades, but the army's overstimmed. The Ultras have arrived. And as I mentioned, ByuN, like, he didn't really have any longevity here in this game. He had to kill before Ultra Tech. And the Ultras have arrived. Now, thankfully, ByuN, he is starting to mix in a couple of extra Marauders. He doesn't have the most amount of tech labs. You can see he's got more tech labs on the way. Just try to get into triple Marauder production. Marauders are a nice stopgap, especially when the Ultra count is very low. But as the Ultra count builds up, that's when Marauders, they don't quite cut it. That's when typically you have to switch into Ghosts, into Liberators, into a more efficient composition. We can see ByuN is floating over his main. Like that's, that's how desperate he is. Floating over the main base. Let's go, Bobby, let's go. Oh, yes, Bailey. Oh my god. Massive Bailey connections. Okay, Bailey's they smash in. Ultra's pushing forward. Music coming from behind as well. Yeah, coming from behind, catching up the Marines. And ByuN just doesn't really have much left over. Yeah, the army just breaks the production. Getting all those final units. Again, we're falling back to regular CC. There's no planetary. And the mute is over well. Oof, GG gets called. GG gets called as ByuN, he has nothing left. He gets outscaled. And Solar, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Whew, GG, well played. A very intense game here from both ByuN and Solar. Again, ByuN, he was doing a great job when it came to denying the 4th base. Denying the 4th base over and over and over again. He was doing well for himself, but as a reminder, he himself was all in, right? Denying a base is nice, but ByuN had to kill. He had to kill his opponent, and he failed to do so. We saw that Solar, he got away with his mutas. He was able to catch out the medevacs, do some counterattacks, kill and cripple the economy, pick off SCVs, and chip away at those reinforcements. And yeah, ByuN, he just didn't get the momentum he was really looking for. Afterwards, we saw that the game did slow down a little bit. ByuN eventually got a 4th CC, Solar likewise got a 5th hatchery, and we started to tech up. Solar taking up into Ultras, ByuN was still stuck on a very mid-tier army. As we tried to emphasize, ByuN, he was all in from almost the beginning, from the initial early to mid game, and ByuN had a really hard time kind of building up into a greater economy and taking up as well. That's why we saw no Liberators, or we saw no Ghost play or anything like that. ByuN wasn't really built for a longer game. Not here, not a Mothership. Wasn't built for it. GG, well played. With that, Solar does claim the series, and does advance on into the semi-finals. Let's go. I don't know why we're getting air upgrades to Solar. I thought it was supposed to trade them and transition to Ultras. He did transition to Ultras, but if you notice, he did not trade his mutas. He actually maintained his muta count to shut down drop play, to continue to harass. Like, the mutas still maintain themselves as a core part of the army. It was more so that we were trading out Ling Bane for the Ultras instead. Why like throw away mutas if you don't need to? Mutas are they're quite expensive, right? They're very gas intensive, so ideally you do want to preserve them and you want to be able to maintain them if possible. And yeah, Solar, he was kind of spending excess gas, excess resources on those upgrades. And hey, the mutas, they were still influential even towards the end of the game. They were still influential. But GG well played with that. With that, Solar, he does advance on to the next round, and we're going to be following Solar into the semifinals. Let's go. Following him into the semis is going to be a ZVT between Solar and Percival. Oh boy.